Now, here's an entertaining one about a gal who's having a giant temper tantrum because her fiance, before they get married and all, did a little homework about her and her past and found out that she was not exactly truthful about her past, the reason she got divorced, etc., etc. Now she's having a meltdown about this whole thing, even though, in my opinion, man or woman, you have the right to know who you're getting involved with, especially for marriage. Title: Am I the a-hole for lying to my fiance about how my first divorce really went down? She just says, I, a 34-year-old female, have been with my fiance, a 40-year-old male, for 6 years now. He proposed a year ago, and we were looking at a small October wedding. Before I was with my fiance, from age 21 through 26, I was married to my ex-husband, who's 34 years old now. Those were some of the happiest and worst years of my life. My ex was the most attractive guy I've ever met, and even now he looks like a 24-year-old instead of an almost 35-year-old. Why is she keeping tabs on her ex? That'd tell you something. However, we were stuck in dead-end jobs because we were both high school dropouts living in Alabama. That's what happens when you drop out of high school with no credentials or anything like that. You're going to have dead-end jobs, unless you have certain skill sets and somebody's willing to give you a chance even though you don't have a degree. Newsflash, graduate from high school or at least get your GED. We were creatives who wanted to save money to move to New York or Los Angeles, but never had any money. No high school diploma and you're going to move to New York or LA? Good luck with that. We both worked in service positions, but I felt that most of the people who walked in the doors were just idiots. I grew to hate serving them, and this reflected in the tips and performance reviews I got. So you can see here, because she's 34 years old now, she is in the millennial class and the stereotypical entitled millennial that feels like they just be handed everything. Drops out of high school, you're going to get a crap job and not make a lot of money, and so of course you're going to hate the job you have and hate the people that you have to serve. But you should have used your brain and graduated high school, gotten some kind of certification, some kind of something that you don't have to be working dead-end shit jobs. So this is your fault. And by the way, not all millennials are like this, but let's be honest, there's a stereotype for a reason. Meanwhile, my ex would get mad at me for not showing up to work and saying the people I serve deserve basic respect from me. Yeah, he's right. He's counting on you for your money. I ended up quitting my job. Shocker. And my ex made me take a job at the hotel where he worked. And I got more depressed because I felt life was passing me by, and my ex expected us to accept our life was just going to be about work. Because those are the choices you made. Someone smart would have said, okay, this isn't working. I'm going to study on the weekends, nights, and holidays for my GED, even if it takes a while, get my GED, then pursue some courses at college that can help me, something to move up in the world. It may take a while, but so what? As opposed to just being angry with the world at your lot in life that you created. We got into more fights about how he had to convince the manager not to fire me. Finally, I got so depressed, I started talking to a friend of mine who was a nightclub dancer, ding, 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 in Atlanta. I took a train there and tried out. I was ashamed to tell my husband that I was doing this behind his back and didn't want to face his anger over me quitting the job he got me. He'll be angry that you quit the job, making him look bad, and also the fact that you're secretly working as a dancer in a club, and that's understandable. So one day, I just picked up and left. My ex filed for divorce and listed abandonment as the cause. We only had $2,000 in assets, and to settle the divorce, my ex mailed me a check for $900, assumed our credit card debts, and that was that. So even he got screwed in the end. But actually, no, she didn't. For $900 and some credit card debt, he got rid of her, so that's actually not bad. He has never contacted me again, so I assumed he was not hurt. I eventually became a hospital receptionist and met my now fiance, who is a radiologist. I told him about being divorced once, but said that we grew apart, and then sat down and amicably worked out a divorce. Grew apart, huh? Amicably worked out a divorce. No, you abandoned him after being a pain in the ass and not being reliable with money all those years. My fiance replied it was a mature decision that spoke well of my character. I thought the omission of detail was far from evil. I was not unfaithful or abusive. However, in the midst of announcing our engagement, a friend of my ex resurfaced and was able to contact my fiance without my knowledge. The past will always come back to haunt you. That's why you can't lie to people you get involved with. They will find out eventually. From there, my fiance dug up information about my divorce, including the fact I was accused of abandonment by my ex. Accused, you did abandon him. He even talked to former friends of mine. He finally confronted me and said that I lied about how I ended things with my ex and called me cold. Well, you are cold. You did lie about your past. He said that this gave him cold feet about who he was marrying and that he wanted to postpone the wedding indefinitely. I am heartbroken. He's now staying somewhere else and says he needs time to think. We had an argument where I was angry that he invaded my privacy about something that happened a decade ago. He has every right to find out who you really are, as you have the right to find out who he really is. You're just pissed off because it screwed up your wedding plans. I've been supportive of his career and stuck around for 6 years waiting for him to be ready to commit. You stuck around and support his career because he's a radiologist, makes way more money than you do, and he's your meal ticket. That's why you stuck around. And I might add, you're in your 30s. Your prime is past, so your options are limited in terms of how many guys are going to be attracted to you. Don't act like you just, fell on the sword to support his career. He's benefiting you, honey. Am I the a-hole? Yes. I hate the fact that Alabama divorces are public record, and he's using that to defend his actions. You are an a-hole. You're an a-hole now. You're an a-hole when you were younger, feeling so entitled to a living, even though you created a situation that caused you to have very limited options in terms of your job prospects. So tough fucking shit, okay? And if he walks away from you, he's every right. You can't marry someone that you can't trust. Relationships don't work that way. But this woman is an example, guys, of she was in the wrong, clearly, but again, twisting it around, making the guy be out to the villain. So, too freaking bad. If he walks away, that's it. And in the future, learn your lesson. Be honest about who you are, your past and all that, and then you won't have a problem. And will it turn some people away? Of course. But better than that coming up down the road to find out. But again, guys, this proves, do your homework on who you're getting involved with, okay? Nowadays, everybody is getting married should hire a PI. Honestly, men and women should hire everything can be hidden about their past, who they're with, what they're like, body count, debt. It goes on and on and on. Save yourself. It's a great investment. Again, if there's a PI operation, I'd start a PI operation. I'd make a freaking killing on this. So, any of you guys looking for a career out there, think about becoming a private investigator. Anyway, you are the a-hole, not him.